Want to go from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? Are these in any order?
5 to 1.
5 to 1. Go.
Okay, so the first one is, and I was stretching a little bit for this, so this isn't an immediate thing, but drafted, talented, developmental quarterback. I am one of these, unless you have the guy, I am one of these guys who drafts a quarterback basically every other year. And a guy like, and look, I'm just telling you right now, when we talk about draft picks, I don't know anything. Okay, I don't study the draft until April, once free agency is over. So I'm just going sort of, and I don't watch college football during the year. So I'm just going on what I have heard. The guy, Hendon Hooker from Tennessee.
Mazz's guy.
Really talented. I just want a guy who's going to sit for 2 years that Billy O'Brien can coach up, is a developmental guy that's traits that has a chance. Might not get there, but I'm taking a chance. I'm rolling the dice.
Draft your Jalen Hurts. Or try and do it.
Yep.
That's number 5. Number 4.
Number 4, please.
I'm drafting Georgia offensive tackle Broderick Jones in the first round. Hopefully he gets there. I don't know if he will. I don't know how the first round is going to slate out. But I have Trent Brown under contract. I am going to go in with the idea that he's starting at left tackle until a guy like Jones, some sort of rookie, can eventually take the job. Probably the rookie has to start at right tackle for the first year. That's sort of what they did with I think Matt Light and also Nate Solder. That was sort of the plan. Trent Brown could still be a good left tackle in this league with a real offense and a real coach. Now, Adrian Clem has his work cut out for him. He's got to find a way to reach Trent Brown and get him motivated. That is not easy for anybody. He has to Cole Strange needs a lot of technique work, but he has a high ceiling. So, we'll see if Clem's good at his job. I mean, it's a big risk putting Adrian Clem in that spot. Hopefully the Patriots are right. Hopefully Belichick's right.
So far, I'm a little bored.
How do you feel about number 4, Mazz?
Should be up higher. Again, you got to take a tackle. Tackle should be the first thing they do in the draft. I know you said first round, but I think it's the number 1 need on the team. Their offensive line blows.
Number 3, Greg Mazz isn't impressed so far.
I'm going to critique you along the way.
Belichick has to evolve at linebacker. He did this in about 2012. He went away from, more zone coverage and things like that when he realized that the quarterbacks were too good. Even the crappy quarterbacks in the league were picking apart. His secondary went to more man coverage, got Talib, and then that led to Revis and Stephon Gilmore. So he has evolved in the secondary. It's way past time that he evolves at linebacker. I mean, when I looked at my grades over the course of the season last week, it became obvious that in the games when the defense was really good, their linebackers, Juwan Bentley, Jelani Tavai, Raekwon McMillan, Mac Wilson, they graded basically an A, a 3.8 out of 5 for me. That's basically an A. When they struggled against the good offenses, the good quarterbacks, the linebackers were a 1. They were an F, like F minus. Like they are the problem. They need to get more athletic. He has to evolve. I don't have a whole lot of faith that's going to happen. But, look at what the Chiefs have done. Look at what other guys have done. Now, there are a couple guys in the draft that maybe they could trade up into the bottom of the first round, maybe get them in the second. Trenton Simpson from Clemson. Drew Sanders is this 6'5" athlete, was at Alabama, transferred to Arkansas. These guys can run. They can even cover the slot. They can do a lot of things. They have to get at least one good athlete at linebacker to compete with these teams.
We're getting better. Good criticism there. Good criticism of Bill.
Number 3.
Number 2.
Number two.
Find a dangerous weapon. I don't really care. It doesn't need to be an X. They just need somebody who, when he touches the ball, the defense is like, oh crap, what are we going to do? How are we going to defend this guy? How are we going to deal with them? I prefer somebody that is a little bit more of a jitterbug than just a straight line like Tyquan Thornton run down the field type of guy. Like I want somebody who can stop, get up to 60 miles an hour, like real fast.
Like Pacheco,
who the Patriots, I had them. I would have drafted him in the 7th round when I redrafted that draft. Tyreek Hill, somebody like that can, just make people miss and then all of a sudden take it to the house. Marcus Jones can do some of that. They'll use him in packages, I would assume, at the least. But DeAndre Hopkins, I'm open to. He's not at that price. He's got to change his contract. I don't mind putting him on the outside. Him and Parker, you could figure out, put them in the middle. I'm not re-upping Jacoby Myers. I'm putting that money, resources into somebody that's more of a difference maker. Love Jacoby, but they need better. I would be open to Jerry Jeudy from the Broncos, who I don't know how much Mac Jones overlapped at Alabama. But then again, now Sean Payton's there. You think Sean Payton's just going to, want to get rid of Jerry Jeudy? I don't know. But that was somebody like that. Those guys, and I would get a guy in the middle rounds, third, fourth round, somebody with upside at receiver because everybody else can pick them. The Patriots need to start.
Yeah, a game breaker.
So I'm going to circle back because you can't, you now in the second round have a quarterback, a linebacker, and a receiver going. So I'm not blaming you. We're just going to have to
prioritize.
Well, how do we acquire all the things you're talking about? And what's their number one thing that they can do quickly to get better?
To me, go get a number one cornerback. Go get Jalen Ramsey. Trade him. The Rams are in big trouble as far as the cap. There's only so many things that they can do. They're going, Aaron Donald has to stay there. Cooper Kupp has to stay there. Stafford has to stay there. Ramsey's a guy you could see them parting ways with. I think there's more upside to him. He's a guy, as the Rams got worse this year, he took a step back, but he's one of those guys who is focus wanes. You put him at number one cornerback. I'm assuming Devin McCourty's going to retire. Maybe he doesn't. I move Jalen Mills to free safety. I have Jack Jones at number 2. I have Marcus Jones in the slot. You give me that secondary with Kyle Duggar. I think I have something there. Look, I'm not sold on Jalen Mills. I need to see him more there, but I think that was sort of the aim. Positional versatility did some of that in Philly, where I think he has the potential to do that better than anybody else on the team.
And you want them doing all this offseason.
Yeah.
So, to draft a real developmental guy, to really follow the Jalen Hurts model, he was a second-round pick, right?
Yeah, but
He was.
Yeah, but, he's coming off ACL surgery, so it drops him even more.
Hooker, you're talking about. Okay, well, all right. So hopefully you get your developmental quarterback in the 4th round.
Yeah.
Because you want to draft Broderick Jones in the 1st round. All right, so you want to evolve at linebacker. Well, you're using your 1st-round pick on the tackle, so the linebacker piece is going to have to come, as you said, trading up into the late 1st round, early 2nd. How realistic are we?
They can get a linebacker, 2nd round.
Okay.
46.
All
Plus
right.
they have 3 4th round picks that they could use to
ammo?
2nd, 3rd round. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Now acquire a dangerous weapon. How are we going to acquire that if you've traded or you've used your draft picks on these other things? And
trade a future pick.
Are they going to pay him? All right, so they're going to trade a future 2nd, future 1st, whatever for Jerry Jeudy. I mean, Judy's going to be a expensive ticket, right? Hopkins less so because
I don't
the
know.
contract.
So I forget who it was. I don't know if it was. I think it was Ian Rappaport said that Jeudy was available at the trade deadline this year and nobody wanted him. And so maybe the asking price isn't that high. You give him a future 2. Yeah, I'm okay. The Patriots have to get better now. While Mac Jones is on his rookie deal, you need to prove things, one way or the other with him. Like I'm mortgaging the future a little bit to get better now because they can't stay where they are.
And Jalen Ramsey, if he's a salary dump, maybe you get him
he's a
at
salary dump.
So you get him at a discount. It's really the game with Jalen Ramsey's paying him the contract. If you trade for him, can you pay him what he wants or renegotiate with him to get,
right. You add on a couple of, dummy years for cap purposes, do that sort of thing.
Sure. Okay. I'm just, trying to parse out, is all of this doable?
The one that seems the biggest stretch to me is the linebacker thing. Convincing Bill to take someone like that Nick Bolton. When you said his height yesterday, Mazz, at 5'11", I immediately thought he would never take a guy like that.
Not in a million years.
We've been asking him for a decade. I'm like done. I've given up. He's not going to draft a linebacker unless it's so freaking obvious, unless it's Gerard Mayo sitting there at 10 overall and you couldn't possibly pass on the guy.
But they got to basically fit this physical mold from 1988.
Yeah, right. I know. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Bill's standards are impossible.
Yeah, he needs to change. He needs to evolve.
Let's see. Do you have any confidence that he will on that side of the ball?
I don't. And it's sad. I mean, it's, I'm afraid that Bill, the older he gets, when we've heard comments from him about statistically, we were one of the best. What's he looking at? He used to be the most honest guy. And Mike Lombardi said this to you guys at Radio Row, and he's right. Bill is honest. He's brutally honest about his roster. But I think there's certain things that he has a blind spot for, and I think linebackers. He hasn't evolved looking at the other. He needs to stop looking at the overall season. Just look against the Bills, the Bengals. The better offenses that they've gone against. Look at your defense and be honest.
All right, 5-point plan is in the books. We've written it down. We'll cross-reference it as we go, Mazz.
I give him a B-.
That's a pretty good grade for Mazz.
Yeah, he's got the right elements, but the wrong order.